Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and share the link here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I like Ponto. Ponto's a good kid. I like his music. True story, true be told. All right, let's share the link there. Skinny boy Ponto, I'll be there with you shortly. Let me get my stuff here. I'm on the other side of the set getting things done. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's go and share the link, please. Got some things here to discuss. Today ain't easy. Let me put my back screen on. How you doing, people? Today is Sunday. I want to get a few things off my chest because I figure that we need to have a conversation. So while you're here, let's share the link. Let me play my little you know Liberian music here. Anywho, Miata, what's up? We realize, but winner. Let's go. And I know, sir. Baby. Thank you, Tiola. Winner. All right, man. Let's go ahead and actually have this conversation. Y'all know me. You see, listening, I tell people this is what politics feels like. We're heading into 2023, and I'm telling you, it's gonna get pretty intriguing as we get closer to election years. Because just to set this thing as a backdrop, let me put it let me put it this way, to just set the stage, right? So for almost a month now, for what, more than a month, right? More than a month, let me put it that way. For more than a month now, we have been telling you about CDC, what they're doing. And I have been really vocal about Spoon and their involvement in terms of our battle politics. and everything that we've seen up to this point, you know, is leaning towards, right? All of the things that we stated. But I'm not going to hold back because I'm going to be unapologetic. And I think this year is going to be a marathon that only somebody like me can run. And at the appropriate time, let me just say this. There are some things that, I would do to Spawn to be able to set the record straight. Because I say this, I'm the last person you want to get in the argument with. And I don't say it to be arrogant, but to be factual. And if there are people who are panelists on that show, if there one thing to know, I mean, people who know me well on that show, they will highly encourage their people to stay clear of me because I'm capable of doing some really, 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 really huge damage to that platform. I kid you not, not being truthful about it. But let me go into the issue and discuss, what I'm getting at. And when I say I'm capable of doing some, a large amount of damage to that platform, I'm talking skill sets and I'm talking a lot of different stuff, that I can do. Trust me. Trust me. When I start talking, when I start becoming comfortable to say certain things, is because I've actually been, when the child say I will throw you a rock, right? I mean the guy a rock in their hands, right? And I'm just using that analogy, something that's kind of familiar in our Liberian settings. But let me go forward and start with a few things that I want to discuss here today. So the first thing here is, it has to do with the topic that I put out there. It has to do with yellow journalism and all the extra stuff and yada yada yada. But in addition to that, I figured that it is important. Please share the link while you're watching. Please share the link. That I set the record clear, you know, and actually, bring some things because look, believe it or not, there are people who follow us on here. They don't comment on stuff, but they rely on the information that we gave, right? For them to be informed about what is going on in our body politics in our community. That people really do that. They're not really the regular Facebook type of people will be there, but the watch the poll to see the things that we put out and they really rely on that information. And trust me, when I went recently to Florida, when I was out there, I came across a lot of people that I don't really see in the social media space, but they come to me about things that they've seen, right? And some of the information that they've actually gathered based upon things. And even in Liberia as well, the people that's been able to reach out to me and just be thankful for the things that we do on social media. So understanding that context and using that as a backdrop, we value all of those people. And sometimes when certain things happen, we have to come and set things clear. So let me start from this. So yesterday, I was one of the people, probably if not the first, to come on social media and report that we have reasons to believe that James Morris, who was actually the head of the ANC Youth Congress, had gone missing. And I followed that particular information that I posted with a video, a live podcast, wherein I say a few things. And at the end of it, I said I have my own suspicions about where he is, and just having people to put things there. Now, let me say this. I've seen a lot of, heard a lot of comments and seen a lot of posts and have personal conversations with people. And I like to use my mindset, my own judgment. First and foremost, please, I know it comes off as bad in the public eyes, but let me just say this. Whatever you do, keep an open mind. Don't take your frustration on the ANC as a political institution. Yes, why? Let's look at Liberia, right? With everything that is happening in that country, with all that we've seen in terms of, all the news, some of you have heard it. The violence we see in the country, we've seen, people being targeted, right? You don't really play with this kind of information when somebody reach out to you, and especially key family members come and say that certain things going on. And when you've done your due diligence and it's been 24 hours since you have seen the living body of somebody, it gives an additional pressure. So in that context, and in the country, looking at all of the things that we've experienced in that country, the first thing that comes to mind is that we have to put it out there so people can know what's going on. And I don't think the ANC and the people, not first and foremost, let's get it right. The ANC did not release an official statement on behalf of the party. Let's get that right. There was no official statement issued by the ANC. Now, individual members, I will come out and say, people like us who are around the ANC went to social media and put that information out there. Was it wrong? Thank you. Was it wrong for us to fear it or have some sort of fear in our hearts and say, you know what? Somebody's child is missing. Please help us find them. I don't think it was wrong. I don't think it was wrong. Now, the person, the individual, yeah, there might be some level of accountability. I'm not going to go there, but I know what what the conversation should be. But as individuals, we do this thing for people outside of the ANC. How often have we heard about incidents involving other Liberians that we have used our voices to bring some light to the issue? It is not uncommon. People will do that because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to stand up for one another. Now, let me also refresh your minds, and some of you will know about why it is not strange and why is it people should go. There was a story about a young man who came from Ghana. Okay, let me say this. There was a young man who came from Ghana through the Catholic Church since 2020. He went to Liberia to get some documents ready and to go back to Lagoon, right? That young man got missing. Since 2020 to 2022 today, his family don't know the whereabouts of that young man. And guess what? 24 hours when the family have not communicated with the child, when the friends in Liberia have not spoken to the friend, they talked to social media, they went out there and they started alerting people. Mind you, since that young man disappeared 2020, they have not found him today. Nobody knows what happened to that young man missing in Liberia. What about the LRA employee, the young man? We woke up on social media and we saw all these posts about this young man that have gone missing. 24 hours, the same thing. Nobody, no communication to today. And I think it's been months now. They don't know his whereabouts. So when all of those things, and those are just a fraction of the cases that we've seen in that country. So with all of the heightened situation we've seen, all of the tension that we see in the country, all of the negatives, all of the brutality, all of the things that you've heard, the Princess Copper, all of these things, political parties, institutions, and members of political parties are under pressure, especially from family members in Liberia, to speak up. Because they think that it adds more weight and more value to the cries, to the concerns, that when people go out there and start putting these things here, it will bring some sort of attention and we can be able to get the kind of resolution. So in that context, us, not the party, because the party never issued any formal statement. The party didn't do that. It was still investigating. But those of us who were close to the young man, and even though we were ANC, whatever it is, took to social media to put that. And my post was clear. I didn't accuse anybody when I wrote that post. I said, this man has been missing and we have not gotten any kind of contact from him. And it's the truth. Because I know usually when people are going somewhere, they probably have that one person they're close to let them know where they are. But interestingly, in this particular case, even the person that was close to him didn't know where he was, and there was no communication. Then you're calling the phone 24 hours, somebody, and let me tell you about this guy. He's not somebody that's, out there a lot, at least from what I know. And what you ought to know, a couple of weeks ago, there's been conversations in the back and where he felt that he was being followed. Let me just put that out there and say that, right? So now it brought some kind of heightened attention. It brought that kind of attention to the situation where we got involved. That's why we came to social media. And you know what? Forget political parties. Forget political parties. I would do it for any Liberian. I would do the same for any Liberian, be it you're a seditian, be it you're from the Liberty Party, you're from the Unity Party, because we have to stand together and protect the interests of all Liberians. So it's not a political party issue. Now, this slide me into the next point of this conversation. But because we're nearing that part of aggressive politics in Liberia, there are individuals who are looking for everything to politicize it. And this is where I think we should be able to draw the lines. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me just say it here. I do believe that there should be additional investigation. And yes, it was wrong to put everybody in the height in the tent, all of the nonsense that went on. I get that. I get that part. I get why people be frustrated. We can't have these lapses. I agree. And maybe there might be actions taken. That's something you'll have to figure out. But what I'm saying, that we'll do it for any Liberian. But they politicize it. They have politicized it. You understand me? They have politicized it. Mind you, Spoon FM, that is a government-sponsored media institution, ran away and immediately came out there and started attacking the ANC. Now, let me tell you something. Some of you should know by now, Spoon FM is not a balanced media institution. It is a government control. Spoon has actually replaced ELBC. The job there, the responsibility of Spoon is to echo the message of the incumbent leadership. That's the partnership between the government of Liberia and Spoon. Spoon FM is a pro-government media institution. And if you think I'm lying, go back to the recent polling that was conducted. Something that was done with no sense behind it. There's no expertise. They don't have anything in terms of, understanding or the nonsense that is spewing out there. You take stupid people, individuals without experience, even the panelists, bunch of individuals who are damn clueless about shit. I don't care. I'm unapologetic. Run the mouth about polling. Scientifically, they don't have the background. Nothing to justify polling. But I'll get to that nonsense. But it is politically motivated because the government of Liberia did all it could to blend Spoon FM. The whole tactics of the government was, they know that a lot of Liberians were not going to listen to other institutions that are out there. The government of Liberia was struggling with its own image and putting this message on there. How can they create a medium to stop promote the government, but pretend as if it is against the government and bring other people and say that, oh, we have a balanced show? Spoon FM was the direct connection to the government of Liberia. And I'm telling you, Spoon, you don't want the war. Trust me. Trust me. You don't want this fight. You don't want this fight. Let me tell you now. When you go and get your 7,000 views, I can go the same day and put 7,000 views on this here. I will destroy you. Don't do that. Don't absolutely do that. Don't get in a fight that you cannot handle. You can say you got your radio station planted. Trust me, I got the technology to do damage. We can do it. Radio is not the only way to get around to people. The different technology, and I can start. And you'll ask me, I will love it and rally around for a united diaspora effort against media institutions that are using the internet to push lies down the throats of our people. And we will be legally authorized to take down any media platform that are going there and pushing messages of deception. You don't want this fight. You absolutely do not want it. Trust me. When the child comes and says, I will throw you right, they know what they're depending on. Let me go back to the facts. Spoon FM is a government-controlled media institution. That's the fact. It is a fact. They come to the defense of the government. They attack these people. They constantly get on Alexander Cummings. Now, let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with putting things about Mr. Cummings. That's your business. He's a public figure. Do that. But don't do it on the pretense that you're neutral. When you're a government-sponsored media institution, that's what they are. And I don't care how we have disagreements in the opposition needs to realize that Spoon FM is now the new ELBC for the CDC. That's exactly who they are. So a bunch of individuals who are only there, paid by the government of Liberia to push rhetorics. Then you come and you attack the ANC. Or the ANC always put, you want to talk about fake news and sensationalism? It was the same Spoon Who graded the government Liberia said that economically they were performing. The government was in the interest of people. The government was working. Have they not said that? Now, in your own common judgment, think about it. How many people in Liberia think that the government is working for the country? I know some of you are not crazy enough to believe that. Sensationalism, yellow journalism. I wouldn't even want to attach journalism to that platform because they're not real journalists. And I dare you to put any member of that platform across any damn platform for me. I will shred the shit out of them. Let me use my expression. And I mean it. It's not arrogance, it's a fact. There are facts here. Absolutely factual. Because you know the output. You absolutely know the output. But there's one corrupt, stupid media institution that is government authorized, continues to prey on the minds of the Liberian people. And somebody will have to speak up. Let me tell you something. I'm not afraid when it comes to taking this fight. And I will be damn ruthless and nasty about it. We can go there. I can go there. Non-stop. And we will rally support of professional Liberians skilled in certain areas to take down media institutions that are using the internet for sensationalism or clear violation. Totally unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. So now they're using it there for political gimmicks. They're intentionally doing it. Sensationalism at its best. Spoon only picks up other things when the thing is other political party. When was the last time they continued to speak about all of the things that's happening in that country? Princess Copper. The young man from LRA got missing. How many times have you seen courage about those things on Spoon? Increased rep in that country. How many times have they held the government accountable? Massive corruption. All of the things that's happening in the country. When was the last time you've seen them consistently go after those issues? They have not. And I don't expect them to. Because they are a government-sponsored institution. Young girls are getting raped. Young advocates or advocates in Liberia or in the diaspora sit on social media and talk about these issues. When have Spoon ever championed speaking for the Liberian people, in the interest of the Liberian people? They have intentionally silenced the voices on all of the atrocities and all of the irresponsible leadership traits that's been displayed by the government and the current president. They have taken the role of ELBC to become the official state-sponsored media institution. Why is it Spoon is the only one that's licensed to operate? Why is it Punch FM have not gotten the license to operate? You think you go to Liberia and start a media institution without regulation that are free? You think we're stupid? Nobody's stupid here. The government of Liberia intentionally work with Spoon, layer them in to continue to propagate message of deception. Young people getting murdered. Young people getting killed, slaughtered. Inequality, poverty, all of the things sits at the feet of the Liberian people. But these bunch of individuals who have no experience in journalism, absolutely nothing, only vacuums of destruction, lies, poison fed to the Liberian people, will want to tell you that somebody else is responsible. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? We have to rise up against people like Spoon. Look, let me tell you, all of the things we see in Liberia today, those things continue to elevate themselves to reach to the highest height because of media institutions that are bad media institutions like Spoon. They are taking the bread from the mouths of the Liberian people, and they don't give a damn because they're profiting. They're benefiting. The government continues to feed them. Listen to me. There should be an all-out war against Spoon. They remind me of radio, the Hutu radio. This is the same kind of this is the same kind of behavior that took Rwanda into that genocide. Poor media institutions, bad media institutions can destroy a nation. Correct me if I'm wrong. Consistently, when have you seen Spoon FM talk about things that actually matters to the Liberian people? They sweep it under the rug. They sweep it under the rug. They're there to cover, to shield. And then they pretend. They go 1 or 2 days, oh, let's lay low and let's focus on other topic. And these are the rest of want to move with tide. They are a government-sponsored media institution. I'm telling you. And I don't lie. I tell the Liberian people, they're listening to it and they know the facts are there. These people are destroying the country, my people. Look, I agree. We should be responsible in our accusations. But what accusations? I agree that there are a lot of pressing issues and truthful issues. And listen, you know what though? Let's talk about sensationalism because I like to speak facts. Let's say Spoon said they're criticizing because every time you go and bring these false accusations, okay, but let me tell you something though. Let me tell you, what have you done about those accusations that were truthful? What have you done about the real issues? Today, are they talking about Princess Cooper? Are they talking about McLean Renner? Are they talking about Odell Sherman? Are they talking about Liberians who have been victimized and brutalized? Are they talking? They're not talking. They are not talking. You know why? Because they don't care. It's money-making business. It's about fixing the voices to fit into the pockets of people who are sponsoring them. These are all facts. It is truthful. And I said it before and I will say it again. I don't care if we're in the same political party. I do not care. My voice is my voice. And if you support the endeavors of Spoon, the destruction of Spoon FM, you're part of the problem. And the fact that I can be vocal tells you, or should tell you, that I don't align with that BS. They ran to begin to politicize things. Okay, we should be responsible when we're critiquing, when we're putting things out there. But let me ask you, my people, yes, what I'm trying to understand. Yes, what I'm trying to figure out. So you want to tell me, though, you want to say, oh, the answer and the Equatorial React, they will do this. Okay, so what if that young man was really missing something that happened to him today? Will you be making the same comment as it is? If some of us are kept quiet about that particular issue, and God forbid something happens, you know what the politics will be here? ANC don't care about the people. That young man was missing. Why did they come out ever since to alert people? You see the nonsense? You see the foolery? You see the hypocrisy in them? Again, I will clarify it. If there are things that need to be done, let them investigate. I don't care. That's the right way. And I understand the optics and how bad it is, politically, how people will take advantage of it. I agree. But there was no wrong here. We are bold enough to talk about people lying in the ANC, but we have a media institution that puts lies in support of the government Liberia. You want to look at people in the ANC for speaking up and calling something that they thought had happened in terms of missing person. But you can't be vocal about all of the people that have been killed in that country. You want to tell other people they're lying, they like to sensationalize, but you sit there and you use media to destroy the people of Liberia, to sell a bad product, to continue to promote an agenda of a disruptive and corrupt government institution. How dare you? How do you point fingers when your finger stays in the stench of dishonesty, the hypocrisy and idiocy of Liberians? That's an evil media institution. They're taking bread from the mouths of the Liberian people. And we need to speak. I will never side when I know that the ANC is wrong on the issues. And I'm not here to speak on the behalf of the ANC, but as an individual. And I will call it as it is. That the politicking, the yellow journalism, spoon-fed down the throats of the Liberian people by a bootleg spoon, fake media institution that has got nothing of substance to it, will not be tolerated. 250,000 people died in that country. Today, we don't have justice. Recently, Liberians have been brutalized and victimized. Today, we don't have justice. When the country is performing poorly, on the brinks of collapse, economically of failure across the globe, when everything is falling apart, Spoon FM tells you that the government of Liberia is succeeding. When in the country, the average business owners cannot even grow their businesses. Productivity is at an all-time low. Spoon FM wants you to believe that the government of Liberia is working for the people of Liberia. Oh, yes. Princess Copper, a bogus bullshit forensic examination or whatever it is termed. Spoon FM remains mute about it and cannot open their mouths to pressure people in position of power to dig deeper. When young boys and young girls are getting victimized, sodomized, raped, and the Ministry of Gender sits idle with all of those cases, Spoon FM wants you to believe that the government of Liberia is doing well. No justice, no accountability, inequality, but the mouths are being fed by the same corrupt government. And they want you to believe that all is okay. Sensationalism, yellow journalism. And they go into these communities, the same broken communities, when pretty close to 90% of our people live in abject poverty. And they tell you the pro-poor agenda is working. What kind of media institution is that? What kind of media institution is that? What brand of patriotism that tells you that you will keep your mouth closed and fill your pockets, but look down on the sufferings of the Liberian people? Liberians, you cannot forget it. You cannot forget individuals behind Spoon who are intentionally doing everything to drown you in your sorrows. Believe it or not, they will come back to you. Do not forget people who are key partakers in the hurt of the Liberian people. Those who sit on media institutions to drive narratives that are absolutely untrue. We can never ignore that. We must continue to tell our people that these people are bad for our country. We cannot openly lie. We cannot sit there and allow these people to function in our space. The money is being given by the government of Liberia to Spoon could be directed to the gender ministry to really impact the lives of Liberians who are struggling. The money is being paid for individuals to propagate the messages of the government of Liberia who have been used and directed to young people in that country who desperately need financial help. The resources being poured out of ELBC and redirected into the new government-controlled state media institution Spoon could be used to train professional Liberians who can thrive on ethics instead of sensationalism and yellow journalism. Think about it. If more than 100,000 plus are going into the coffers of a media institution, where do you think it is going to them? Majority of the members who are on the board of Spoon are CDCians, influential members of CDC who are on the board of that particular fake media institution who only thrives on sensationalism and lying to the Liberian people. We must be mindful how garbage, rubbish, idiotic, Irresponsible media institutions are driving the narratives and feeding poison into the guts of our people. They are no different than those broken hospitals that allow our people to die. They're no different from the government officials who continue to exploit our people. Spoon FM is a disaster. They should be declared enemies of the state and not in the interest of the Liberian people. Bad journalism, dirty journalism, nasty journalism, corrupt journalism. Bunch of individuals, misfits, pretending to be journalists when they're not. Bunch of goofballs sitting and using mic to destroy the Liberian people when we all know they're nothing but political trash. Oh, yes, I said it. We are destroying that country because media institutions continue to undermine the interest of the Liberian people. And they think that is okay. No, it's not okay. It is not okay. Corruption sits at the very cradle. Media institutions should be the ones protecting our democracy. In Liberia, Spoon FM and a couple other individuals have become destructive agents planted into our democracy by governments who are bent on continuing to oppress our people. How do those guys sleep at night? How do you sleep at night knowing that you're pushing messages that are totally untrue about the government of Liberia? Again, I will say this. Yes, we should all be responsible when it comes to saying certain things. I don't disagree. But when you're talking about people being responsible and not sensationalizing, then you should show us your history. What have you done to speak on those key issues consistently? Have you spoken about all of the victims, all of the people who've been hurt in that country? What have you done? Absolutely nothing. But you wine and dine with the we administration, and you sit on panels, you say, "Oh, President, we are, it's strong, you come in, man, and you this, that, the rest of it, and you think that's journalism, but that makes you cool, that makes you intelligent, that makes you think you're something." Absolutely not. You're nothing but garbage. And this has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with the kind of human beings that you are. How dare you? How dare you? You want to point fingers? Let's see which direction you're pointing your fingers from. And again, I will emphatically state here, I agree. We should be right. We should be okay. We should be sensible enough when we're directing criticism. Yes, I agree. I really do agree. But who's telling us what to do? A corrupt media institution? A corrupt media institution telling us what to do? These are the people that we want to listen to. These are the people that should be driving narratives and telling us how we need to go about certain things. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So again, it's checkmate. Yes, when it comes to declaring people missing in the country, yeah, okay, I get it. But let's think now, again, like I said, how do we know for sure that certain things that have been said are untrue? How do you determine if somebody's life is in danger? Especially after 24 hours in Liberia. Who sets that standard? Judging from all of the things that we've seen. Okay? Judging from all the things that you've seen, how do we sit there and say, oh, we're supposed to be the one to determine when a person is actually, life is being threatening? How do we know for sure? With all of the things that we've seen. Come on now, people. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. How do I know that when somebody's declaring missing or somebody's relatives will come in and say, oh, we can see our child 24 hours. How do I know that that person is not being threatened and he did? How do I really know? Do we keep quiet? So what if somebody's actually in danger and you sit down and don't say something? We can't play guess games with the people's life because we've seen time and time and time again and again and again how our people have been victimized in that country. But Spoon wouldn't know that because they're not focused on discussing those issues. They're focused on damage control for the government of Liberia. That's what they do. They are mainly focused on damage control for the government of Liberia. Listening, repeat after me. Spoon is not a true media institution. They are defenders of the government of Liberia. Spoon is officially part of the defense ministry for the government of Liberia. Say that, repeat it, sink it into the heads of your family, into your relatives, and let them know, my children, Spoon not for all. They work for the department or the Ministry of Defense for the government of Liberia. They defend everything, Joe. We are. This is not a serious media institution. They're like Hutu Radio. They only support all the bad thing the government doing. They can kind of pretend that they care about the Liberian people. No, their work is to destroy the Liberian people by pushing or supporting the image of a dishonest government. And I know many of you know that. But it's time for us to become louder when it comes to this issue. So in closing here, I am not here to defend that young man. And listening to some of you, let me tell you something. These are heightened times in our country. And the issue of justice and accountability is important. There are people who are really going through messing. When you come and we go out there, let it be because we know that something's in danger, that you're being hurt. Don't put us in the situation where we have to come and put our neck on the lines. It is not cool. It is not good to people who have really been victimized. It takes away from the pain and suffering that families are going through. So you know what? That part I will come to. It is wrong. And I hope, I'm not going to say much, and I hope there are people who are still missing in our country today. There are people, families who are still broken because they can see the children. And my people, we cannot joke with those things. We cannot cry wolf. We cannot have you putting us in a position where people who are speaking for real justice are standing up and we come and look stupid. It is not right. So some of you, you should be held accountable. Because if you're not giving those stupid people the chance to say what they're saying, it wouldn't be out there. And I give a damn. Feel offended, say what you want. Take me on. I don't give a damn. Let's go at it. That's what I like. And trust me, I wouldn't back down because I will go after you too. And I can be very nasty. I can be very nasty. Before I talk, I already have myself in my hands. So I don't throw rocks. I've been doing my investigation for a long time before I release shit. So let's go after it. So that's that part. I'm not here to talk about it. And I know it will deal with itself. What I'm here to talk about are media institutions who are working for the government of Liberia. We want to talk. They want to push transparency now when they have not been transparent in the first place. I can't take you serious. We can't even see any grain of truth in what you're saying. How dare you speak about transparency and sensationalism when all you do is sensationalize stuff, conduct fake polling in areas and stuff to undermine the interests of the Liberian people, push messages for the government of Liberia. Those missing boys then today, we know shit about them. Nothing came out of that case. Women in the diaspora here are fighting for justice all damn day. And y'all cannot even lend your collective voice to consistently go after those issues. None of the negatives of this government you guys want to sit and talk to continuously because it's bad for business. But you want to sit across now and let us know that you're the pure ones. But again, like I said, we're not surprised because it's a government-driven media institution. And let me tell you, some of y'all that can go on that platform there and your partner, y'all will sit there. I know when you hear anything, you don't want to directly something, that's your business. Oh, when you're friend, you're only hurting your partner. Let me tell you something. There's so many ways someone can hurt y'all. Let me tell you something. The only way I hurting partner, not through radio. Because we know some of our people don't even got radio. But I'll tell you, there's so many ways that we can hurt people. And when I say hurt, I don't mean physical harm. I mean with the rhetoric sense, you want to be foolish. Your mouths are not the only ones that have control of radio. Some of us can be convincing in discussing issues and letting our people know what's going on. Don't think that you're the only one who got some kind of exclusive right. I tell people, I don't want to be any politician in Liberia. I don't want any jobs in Liberia. A man that does not want to gain anything from speaking about Liberia, you cannot harm him. This is the most dangerous person to go to war with. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. I don't want nothing other than Liberian politics. You'll not see me trying to run for office. I'm not part of that shit. My whole life vision is not based upon how I can set myself up for Liberian politics. I use my voice to stand for the truth, to push down the candidates that can change the hearts and minds of our people. So be it. I don't want. But some of you will think that you have some kind of political intentions. Oh my goodness. You don't want to get on my shit list because we will love it and rally around to destroy you politically. And if I would pay to have town hall meetings and send people in the villages, in the districts that you're from, to push the message, will do that. And let me tell you, I will have young people going in the markets and putting messages and banners around in villages and letting them know that many of you on these media institutions are fake media. I would pay for a billboard in central Monrovia on the highways in there and put your pictures on it, your radio station logo, and tell the people that you're fake media. Oh, yes, I can do that. And guess what? I don't need political party support. I don't need politicians to pay shit. We can afford it and we can do it. So this is the danger of fighting people who are sophisticated and they don't need to rely on political parties to sponsor stuff. Some of you want to use your voice to hustle. I don't need to use my voice to hustle. I don't need nobody to give me a dime. Thankfully, thank God. That's why I don't scoot down. I don't sit there and subject myself to singing praises for people. If I did that, if I spoke on the behalf of people, it's because it comes from here and I don't need anything back. So you cannot do anything. But you run the risk of being destroyed politically if that's your ambition. Don't ever go to war with somebody who's got nothing to lose. Because you're going to fall into some deep shit, especially sophisticated people or people who are more sophisticated than you. And I'm sounding the alarm. That Spoon is a shithole media institution. It's a fake media institution. The government-sponsored media institution. I hold no regrets, and it's going to get nastier. And we'll echo this chant. We'll let people know. We'll continue to speak these messages. I will schedule shows on different radio stations and let them know. Every time I open my voice, we will resonate and educate our people and let them know that Spoon is a government-sponsored media institution. Every shit that comes from the mouth should not be taken with a grain of salt. To close this on my people, let me just say this real quick. Look, I understand the frustrations of our people. We have to be very mindful in terms of how we put information out there. I agree. I am with you. But I want you to think about it. We're working in a fast-paced environment. We don't know for sure what's happening to people. And every time we take, you want due diligence, let me tell you, it was about 24 hours before we really came public. And all leading up to that time, there were discussions, there were conversations, there were calls, there were people out there looking for this young man. And because of the country that we're in, we talk to social media. Thankfully that he's back. And you know, that's another story. Hopefully, I'm just going to leave it like that. But some of these media institutions are not really truthful to our people. You don't come up and start blaming political parties. You only do that shit because you have alliance with the government of Liberia. And that's what it's about. I want any panelist from Spoon to go on an individual network, put me across the stage, and let's talk about what happened. I will destroy you. I will break you down, and I will sell it. Y'all can do that shit with people who y'all think we didn't want to go the length and distance. That's why y'all stay clear of me. I know that shit. And I don't give a damn. I don't want to be on that damn show anyway. I create my own platform. I don't care about it. But we will speak and use our voices. My voice is my gift, my strength, everything that I own. And we use it to destroy you. Because when you start using rhetoric's propaganda to tell lies or true lies down the throats of our people, we'll go after you. And so send your raggedy, whatever it is, to post shit. I got few people who can respond, so I'm not going to subject myself, but I know the people who I'll go after. And I'm telling you, if the people you're close to on that platform will tell you, don't do that, stay clear from him. You do not want to get on my shit list. You can do that shit with anybody out there. I am nasty, sophisticated. You know what the thing? I don't need to depend on anybody. I know how to do my shit. I am blessed with the skill set, the gifts. Don't try to get in a fight that you will not survive. You got radio? We can get on radio. We can do things too, can be more effective. Don't go there with me. In the end, we know what you are. You're a fake media institution that's bought by the government of Liberia. And that's all that matters to the Liberian people. You have a good day, my people. I want to let people know that we have Liberians who will stand for that country. We will stand for clean journalism. We respect people who make the sacrifices. Journalists who are really risking their life and telling the true story. We salute you. We respect you. Journalists who are protecting the cradles, who are protecting the foundations of our democracy. We do. For those of you who are being paid by the government of Liberia, to hell with you. And there's more venom coming. Y'all have a good day, my people. I appreciate all of y'all. Nonsense.
All day, Liberia this, Liberia that. Me ba, I will not give up on Liberia. I will keep on talking and fighting hard to make Liberia a better place. I say, Flomo, what happened you talking all by yourself? Pajon, I am tired. I am tired of the people who can be saying Liberia can't change. So they finish giving up on Liberia. Liberia is all of our country. So we must come together and elect the best person to lead Liberia to a better place. So I am encouraging you and every other person to listen to the program Unapologetic on Sky FM 107.1 and Sky TV Channel 6 every first and last Saturday at 2 p.m. Liberian time and 10 a.m. American time. Join Duke and his team of panelists as they find ways to solve Liberia's problem. Thank you, Ya Flomo. I'm on my way. Na.
I can't see my chef. All the things I do, yeah, not to myself. Don't have the answer. Bibi June answer. My man answer. Coco Jone answer. Mero answer. Bam. We not having caffeine. We all Saturday. We not going home. All the chicken go to because we not going. I feel it myself. I can't see myself. All the things I do, yeah, not to myself.